Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad question.
Hey, Rashad.
What's up? What's good? What it do? My name is Rashad Milligan. If y'all new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs, man. Hey, I told y'all the equipment was coming. I told y'all the pack were on the way. Today I don't really have a topic. I've been spending all day setting up this camera. I already did like a test recording earlier. It wasn't a test recording. I messed up with some stuff, so I'm just re-recording. So I already know that I have to look up. I'm so used to looking down at the keyboard and going through all the stuff, but now I have to look up because the camera's above the laptop now. But one thing that I wanted to say, because I saw this as a big talking point or whatever on social media, and I think it also ties into the Donald Glover video on my channel that's going pretty crazy for my channel's standards and stuff like that. Or my channel's kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, but it's going crazy on the channel. And I didn't think so. I didn't know it was going to do that because it was already viral on Twitter and or X or whatever you want to call it, and all these other social platforms, and it was already a thing. But when it happened, I was like, okay, I'll take it. That's fire. That's cool. Shouts out to Rolling Out My Job, where the story was originally published. Make sure you go check out that link, so I don't get in trouble with my job. Anyways, but with that being said, it all ties into the same thing. Here we go. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. I can share the screen, and we are good to go. This is from Harriet Eve 9. She posts a lot of think pieces, particularly probably pertaining to race and things of that sort on her page. And but this is her latest thing, and it is like an essay on Kamala Harris not being black enough, and the fact that she's not black enough, and she won't be voting for her because she's not black, and she's false claiming to be black to get black votes. My thing is with that, there's propaganda. What I have to let my friends know. Hold on, I got to turn on the light. Even with the new equipment, I got to still keep the lighting good. Still got to keep the lighting good now. Yeah, with the entire thing with Russia, right? Remember the whole Russian thing and stuff like that. I can take off my glasses if I'm not looking at the laptop. The entire thing with the Russia thing was like the biggest problem was that they were really targeting Black Americans, like sending false information of stuff like, yeah, the man don't want you to vote for the election, Democratic Party. The man is just like the white man, but just with a blue tie on instead of red. Like that was the actual stuff they were feeding, and targeting the Black community with. When you look at the content and you have that context of what was going on, it seems like more obvious than ever. But at the time, it was just blended in. People didn't know that stuff was coming from Russia. Like, if anything, people probably would have guessed that it would have been Trump and his people or something like that. But even then, that's like, dang, I didn't think that highly of them because, I've been watching or following from a big distance, and all I heard was that Trump is an idiot. So it's like, I say all this to say, people have to be extremely, extremely careful in a time like this in election season because all the smoke and mirrors and just dirty things, and you guys know the dirty games of politics and all of that sort. But like Killer Mike said, Killer Mike, I interviewed him at the BET Awards that same night that Donald Glover went on that rant. And he went on another rant, Killer Mike did, because Donald Glover presented him with the album of the year and stuff like that. And he did his thing. But Mike was just saying, I asked him, just one political message he wanted to send in this election year. He said, we're going to hear a lot of people talk about vote, vote, vote for the president and national election and things of that. And that's great. But the real change happens in your local elections. And those are the things that are so important because a lot of that local stuff is on the national and your presidential and your general election ballot. Things that affect like, do you want to raise taxes 2% so you can smooth out the roads and you can build a new park and your kids can have this type of education? Do you want this in your kids' curriculum? Do you want this in the children in your community's curriculum? Do you not? Why run it? Like, should we continue teaching about segregation and slavery and critical race theory and Rosa Parks? And should we continue to keep that in the schools or not? A lot of the things that we just argue, we gun control, whenever something tragic happens, police, all of these things are things that we can vote on the same ticket, the same ballot that you vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And that's the main thing here when people like go out of their way to discredit uh, Kamala's blackness for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it's like, okay, all right, she's not black. Okay, now what? It's still an important thing to continue to vote every election, not just this election, because you know how people say this is the busiest, most important election of our lives, and if you don't vote, then I'll bleed, and you know all that stuff. But like this stuff is like it's just serious for your day to day. Like it's important and it matters. And it's like the easiest kind of one of the more easier forms of activism that there is. It's just vote, right? Like it doesn't end there, yes. They tell us to vote and ain't nothing changed. Okay, ain't nothing changed, bro, because like things that you see, new buildings, new thing, you know, the stuff sanctioned by the state government, the local government, all that stuff came through the form of votes. And I learned this, well, I'm going to say I learned it, but I saw this firsthand at the beginning of my career as a news and crime beat reporter for the city of Douglasville. Shout out to the Douglas County Sentinel. Ron Daniel gave me my start. Shout out everybody over there. I'm trying to think of who's Derek Mahomes. Derek Mahomes now the editor over there. He was the sports editor and one that actually recruited me via form of other people. It's all about who you know. That's the important thing, kids. But you know, like just seeing how local government worked up close so early in my career gave me such a great perspective on like the importance of this stuff and the actual impact in the immediate day to day because your city council and your county commissioners are voting on okay, what should we do to this road? Should we get a new traffic light here? Should we install a traffic light here? Should we get a stop sign here? What times should how many school buses? You know, like when it comes to the school board of education, should there be another school bus stop here in this neighborhood because these kids have to walk too far? All of this stuff, like the little things that affect your day to day life and your kids' life and the kids in your community's life, all of that comes in the ballot. Literally in Georgia, slavery was on the ballot, and like I brought that up to Killer Mike, and he said slavery will always be on the ballot until they abolish the 13th Amendment fully and completed. And salute to Killer Mike for that. I'll probably I don't know if I'll put that up here on my channel, but I might link to it or something. It was a good thing. It was like kind of a little series on aging and hip hop. I talked to Lecrae and T.I. and 2 Chainz as well, like in the story and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool story. But I'm saying all of this to say this entire talk, this lady, Miss Harriet, dedicated an entire essay to a pointless conversation. It's not getting us anywhere as a people. It's not progressing us anywhere. So what are we doing here? We're just further distractions from the actual point and the actual problems and the actual thing that's important. We have an important election coming up. It is very important and it's going to affect your day-to-day life and this and that. Forget Project 2025. Forget if Trump is a racist and said he wants to build a wall and look at my African American. Forget all that. Forget Kamala locked up a bunch of black men when she was working in the state of California. Forget that Joe Biden was a part of the war on drugs in the 90s as well and locked up a bunch of black men. Forget all of that stuff. You know, look at the micro stuff of what's affecting us on a day-to-day basis in our neighborhoods, in our cities, in our counties, because those are the things that affect us the most. You know, when we talk about our taxes and all of these things, man, like we pay, well, I don't know. It sounds good in my mind, but I don't know if it's true. I don't know which order it goes in. I wanted to say we pay our state tax before we pay our federal tax, but I think it's actually I can't remember. It's been a couple months since April. But you know, I'm trying to say stuff is important local. It's extremely important. And this rhetoric that Kamala isn't black is further kind of pushing the thing to encourage black people not to vote. Like whether you want to recognize that message or not, that's the message behind it. So on to this Donald Glover thing. I don't know how much time I'm in. I'm probably like at 10 minutes. I have to look at it so I can time stamp for you guys. The Donald Glover story at BET. So I got sent to BET last minute. I was approved a couple of weeks before, but they told me I wasn't going. Then they told me I was going last minute. So I get to LA like Saturday night. The award show's on Sunday morning, like Sunday early afternoon out there West Coast. I had my homegirl. My homegirl, she kind of like met with me out when I was in the shopping centers out in downtown LA and stuff like that. That's where I met Abraham from Infinity Song. Set up that interview, whatever. The next day on a song, I'm about to go see him in Atlanta. It's all full circle. Um, but anyways, I was with my homegirl. She was like, "Yay, nay." We couldn't really find anything that we were in love with on Saturday night. So we tried again Sunday morning. Um, I picked up my credentials. As I'm picking up my credentials, here we go, Donald Glover. What does this have to do with Donald Glover? I'm sitting in line and I'm like scrolling on my phone and I see a list of the performers and it says Childish Gambino. I'm like, Donald Glover's gonna be here? Donald don't leave the house. Donald Glover does not leave the house. So when he done speak to media, he pops out once every 5 years, and when he does, he like promotes his movie and then he goes back into hiding. He promotes Atlanta for a week, goes does a red carpet, answers a couple of interviews, tells a funny story, laughs, and then you don't see him again for 5 years. So it's like when this, I was like, Donald Glover's gonna be like I've met Donald. Um, it was like 2016. I was in the first season of Atlanta, and I met him because we were filming on set all day. He called it a wrap at like 1 a.m. I just shook his hand and said, "Hey man, thank you for everything. I really appreciate you." And then I said some cringeworthy stuff. I was like, "I'm the son of Donald Glover," because Donald Glover said in 2013 in the BTI era, because of internet era, that he was the son of Kanye West. And he was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Huh, huh." And he gave me a little pity laugh. And I was like, "Oh, why did I do that?" I was so stupid at first. Anyways, I've seen him in concert 2 times before because the internet tour, the Deep Web tour, and then the This Is America tour. And I'll be seeing him next month on this new tour. So all of these times I've seen him in person, I still never have like spoken to him. So as a media member, I'm like, bro, is this man about to walk the red carpet to promote the album and the movie and all of the things that he has going on now with Bando's son? Man, I'm hyped. I'm excited. So, anyways, I go pick up my credential. Homegirl pick me up. Zoom. We go over to Men's Warehouse. I pick up a suit expeditiously. I don't even take it off. That's why I got my undershirt showing in the videos and all the interviews. If you go back and look at one of them interviews on the carpet, I got my undershirt showing because I just ran to the carpet. Barely made it in time to check in on the carpet, everything like that. So I get in on the carpet. Donald Glover done walk the carpet. But what I learned on the carpet, Yvette Nicole Brown, the one who was in Community with them and on the show with them for like 5 years and stuff, and they're working on the movie. Whenever they start shooting the movie, they all agreed upon it. She didn't know he was there. That's how much this man is under the radar. She didn't know he was there. I said, this is about to be something. Because if you know anything with Donald, like I said, he don't leave the house. So when he leaves the house and he does something, he always does something that's a little different. You've seen the Lithonia video this week where the eyes pop out and he's not going to do something for no reason. If his face is on the music video is going to have something very extraordinary that you've never seen before. You're going to be like, what the heck just happened? What did I just watch? So I'm like, okay, what is this man about to do? Is he about to perform like just some new stuff on Band of Song? Is he gonna do This Is America? Is he gonna do like Redbone, like they like to connect with the people first and then break into the new stuff? I don't know what he's about to do. So I'm thinking about Tyler. Tyler had a whole set, and that's Tyler Creators. He's another one of those guys. I'm like, whenever he does something, he does it with purpose. He has a meaning. He has a plan behind it, and all those things. So that's what I'm thinking with Donald. So he goes up there to present the award for Album of the Year, and he goes. Well, you guys seen the video. It's like, don't take this personally. And if you're wondering who I'm sitting next to, I'm sitting next to two fellow media members. They had all the media in like one row or 1 or 2 rows. And one of the people I was sitting next to was Nate from People Magazine and stuff like that. I forgot Nate's full name, but like because his name on Twitter is like Issa Rae's favorite reporter because he's the guy that on the carpet, like he talks to Issa Rae, like he sung the song from Awkward Black Girl with her the first time and he went viral for that. And then the second time he went viral with her was like he brought a mirror to her and had her talking to herself in the mirror like she does on, I don't know if it's Insecure or Awkward Black Girl that she does it, but he also went viral for that. And she just loves him and she always shouts him out on social media and stuff like that. So that's his name on Twitter, social media. So those are two of the main people that you hear speaking. And then I'm speaking just supporting Donald because he was talking about not receiving his flowers on the song with Ye. What's the song? Say Less. Like he's talking about people don't love to give you flowers until they can land. They don't want you walking around with bouquets. I cry, I'm ready to cry, die out today. Come on, man. That man can rap. But anyways, his rant, like somebody described it perfectly. There was like, this is like the South got something to say for blurs, and I thought it was amazing because Donald Glover's just been, I feel like, almost underrated by like his own. I think like 2016, 2018 was so hot for him. Atlanta was the hottest show on TV. He won all the Emmys from season 1. Season 2 was just airing, and he was doing Lion King and Star Wars and hosted SNL, and then This Is America. Won Grammys from won Grammys from Redbone, and Awaken My Love was like his most socially accepted album. So it was like at this point he was so big that Black people can no longer ignore him and put him in that kind of underground rap weirdo Black kid kind of box that he was in online. And but he's still kind of like undervalued. I feel like perfect example. Anytime people talk about uh what do they talk about? Jamie Foxx, right? They do the Jamie Foxx debate. Jamie Foxx versus Donald Glover. Everybody's gonna say Jamie Foxx because I feel like Jamie Foxx is more kind of like socially accepted within the Black community. And I know it's such a overplayed and whack thing just to say, not Black enough. Oh, not Black enough. Oh, too Black for the white kids and too white for the Black. Shout out Earl Sweatshirt. But it's like, that's a true thing in the Black community. And as overplayed and overstated and overdiscussed as it is within our own people, it's still a discussion that needs to be had to remind us, hey, there's no such thing as just omnious, I don't know if I said that right, Blackness. Like Blackness is everything. We aren't just a one-trick pony. Blackness is blurs. Like we got freaking DreamCon going on right now in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Mark and all those guys. They wanted me to interview him. Couldn't get it set up beforehand, before DreamCon and stuff like that. But I show love to them during the Super Bowl, everything like that. Shout out to John. Shout out to the whole team, RDC. Shout out AMP. Shout out to streamers, man. iShowSpeed and Casanat are two of the biggest online personalities on the planet. As Black kids doing tech stuff, playing video games, being nerds, bro. Like, of course, Speed is mad athletic, and Kai takes care of himself as well. But like they're doing nerdy stuff. Like Duke Dennis is like cool on the internet. He playing video games and like, what I mean? Like he wears glasses, like, what I mean? It's a whole new thing, bro. It's a whole new world. It's all types of different Black people, bro. And we have to celebrate and embrace that always, and not just sometimes when like someone says, "Oh yeah, we accept," because that's just not the truth. Um, Even for myself personally on this channel, so I'm from a northern suburb in Atlanta, Marietta, primarily. I grew up in a split household. Pops was in Atlanta, Southwest Atlanta, Cascade Road. So it's like I see the city, going to my dad's, spending time at my dad's and stuff like that, split custody. And I also seen the city, being with my cousins and my uncle's house over there off of MLK on the west side of Atlanta as well. So I'm seeing and I'm absorbing the city through kind of like other parts of my family and stuff like that. Just like being around it and being around the city of Atlanta and all of Atlanta's culture and stuff like that. So the slang, the talk, the way that people walk, dress, all that stuff. But primarily, I spent a lot of more time with my mom in Marietta. So I'm around like more suburban kids and a lot of white kids. And even though my school statistically had more Black kids than white kids, Danzy Swanson said I went to a school primarily Black kids. It's still very kind of white in Cobb County and Marietta. So it's just a different thing. So like the way I speak is this. This is the way I speak. But I also use like slang like bruh and hey and this and that. So I'll be doing that on here on the channel. And like you'll have this random stranger who's never seen me or never heard from me. And he's like, hey, bro, just be yourself, man. You ain't gotta be anybody else. You ain't gotta be a character. Just be yourself, brother. And I'm like, I am being myself. I'm not trying to be black. What's up, brother, man? Like, I'm not trying to be that, whatever that is, the stereotype and typecasting that Hollywood is implanted on our brains and media has implanted on our brains. It's the reason why Ice Cube grew up rich and he had to straight up in a W. Like, it's all these things, right? It's all of these things of why we feel we have to act this way, whether we realize it subconsciously or consciously. And I say all that to reel that back in of being like, we are multifaceted, multi hats. We can do a lot of things, bro. We're not one trick ponies. Black people are not a monolith. We need to accept that. We all come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. Kamala, just like Caribou, her dad Jamaican, bro. Caribou dad Jamaican. I mean, no, Caribou mama is Jamaican. Kamala's dad is Jamaican. They're black, bro. They're black. Yeah, one drop rule. You're black. So whether or not, don't let it deter you from the actual facts. Don't let it deter you from realizing and recognizing that Donald Glover is amazing talent and he's provided some amazing art every single time he step foot out the house once every 5 years. Don't do that to discredit Tyler the Creator or Solange Knowles for remembering her and honoring her legacy for what it is. Way bigger, way larger than just being Beyonce's sister. And all the other weird black people, man. Questlove, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Lauryn Hill, I don't know, Missy Elliott. You know, you can go down the line of just weird black people. Even Tyler Perry's kind of a weird black person. You know what I mean? So it's just like, accept blackness in its all. And don't let the discussion of what is black and what isn't black distract you from the actual problems and the actual issues that's going on around the world. That is my my blackness rant. I hope you enjoyed it. If not, that's cool too. Until next time, my name is Rashad Milligan. Enjoy Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one quick
can't
question?
ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.